Hello and welcome to the Midgard Press. My name is Jay. So today we are going to talk about the Giants. Um, these Giants aren't like other Giants from other TTRPGs. They are like other Giants from other TTRPGs. They are huge. They are colossal humanoids. They are severely tall. In fact, before I even get into the attacks, I want to talk about this, where it says right here, the weak spot. Okay, now this is talking about if there's a weak spot on the top of the head. Okay. So go ahead, pause, read it through real quick. I want to talk about the very last line. It says to avoid falling off and taking 2d6 falling damage. Now, hold up. If you are to climb a giant, okay, that is 2d6 falling damage if you fall off the giant. Now, in the book, it says falling damage is the first 3 meters. Actually, hang on. Let's pull it up real quick. Hang on 1 second. Let me pause. Okay, so I have it pulled up right here. It says a fall less than 2 meters inflicts no damage. Okay, so that means in order to receive 2d6, this thing has to be 4 meters tall. Because the first 2 meters, no damage. The second 2 meters, because we're going to go to page 88, the second 2 meters is a d6. So 4 meters tall, and 1 meter is roughly 3.3 feet. So 4 times 3, you're looking at, that's 9.9. 14.2? No, 13.2. So about 13 and a quarter feet tall. That's bloody huge. That is freaking huge. Yeah, let me check my math on that. Yeah, 13.2. Yeah. That's pretty dang tall. Yeah, I was just before the recording this, I was rereading the weak spot and it was talking about that. And I was just like, that's huge. Gosh, that is huge. Anyways, let's get into the attacks. So finishing the monster attacks, number 4 of the D6, sweeping blow. The giant sweeps its weapon at all adventurers within 10 meters. Anyone hit by the attack suffers 2d10 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone or knocked down. 5 of the d6, forceful throw. This is one of the things I love. Whenever a monster picks up a player and just throws them, that is legit one of my favorite things ever. Like, people always make the joke about, in D&D at least, okay? In D&D at least, people always make the joke about half giants or extremely tall characters with a lot of strength picking up the halfling and throwing them, or picking up, the goblin and throwing them. Like, they always make that joke. And the fact that these monsters, there's multiple monsters that do this. And the fact that the giant forceful throw picks the character up and throws them is just fantastic. Anyways, the giant is fed up with a character, grabs them and tries to throw them. The attack inflicts 4d8 bludgeoning damage, and the victim is hurled the same number of meters in a random direction, landing prone. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's damaging. That's really hurtful, but fucking hilarious. Anyways, smash attack. Crazed with rage, the giant smashes the player character with its feet, fists, and weapon in a frenzy of rapid blows. Everyone within 10 meters suffers 3d6 bludgeoning damage and is knocked down. Okay, okay. Yeah, the giant is very powerful. I mean, they have a size huge, movement is 18, so they can get pretty far, and their HP is 74. Yeah, they hurt. Okay, they hurt. So what could you do with a giant? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. So it mentions within the little paragraph of a description that they could be the remains of a great civilization that long ago rose against the dragons. Because it wasn't just the dragons versus the demons, it could potentially be the dragons versus the giants. Now, on the Misty Vales map, there is a small little settlement right here. And there's a small, that looks more like camping. I think this is a small little settlement, and that is like Stonehenge, something like that. I have decided that one of these two places, either this one or this one, I am going to put multiple giants, and it's going to be a clan of giants that live there. So that way, if the players want to venture out and potentially encounter more giants, they could. I think having more giants within the game could be very interesting. They are monstrous of size. They are monsters of HP. You know, that does say they have a weak spot where you can inflict double damage at the very top of their head. Now, getting there requires two interesting tactics, but it could be done. You know, it could definitely be done. But I would love to, going back to my encounter idea, I would love to have like a small clan of giants, maybe 4 or 5, very small. But I want one of them to be like the elder of the clan, you know. And it doesn't say how long these giants live. It does not say. So we can just kind of assume it's a couple hundred years, just for narrative. And the elder, we could say, is maybe 400 years old, something like that. And if the players ever try to discuss like the Dragon Empire that existed beforehand, you could easily go along the lines of, oh, you know, I was there when I saw the last dragon fly, or I was there when I seen the dragons attack demons. I think that'd be pretty cool because giants could also play a part where they were fighting demons as well. Like, there's nobody to stop you from saying that. So, or here you go. Here's a fun idea. If you find you could create a giant NPC or an NPC that is a giant, where if your players are going through the mountains, you could have this giant happen to find the party and after a little negotiation be willing to take, or the giant would be willing to take them through the mountain safely. That could be a fun idea. If you do that, you could have them attacked by griffins. You know, that actually could be very interesting. I might have to work on that one. I might have to play around with that. That might be a good idea. But yeah, include giants more into your game. They are reclusive. They don't, really like to be seen, but give it a shot. Who knows? You might actually have fun with it. So I'll leave you there. As always, like this video, do the things, like this video, comment down below. How would you include a giant into your game? Do you like my 2 suggestions, or do you have another suggestion that could work in place? And then as always, share this video. Share the channel, in fact. Share it with friends, family, and other nerds. Share it with your GM. Give them some ideas. Always give the GM some ideas. Always. All right. And as always, I want you all to live on and game on, my friends.